Let's see. Okay, you've got it. Oh, I can definitely help. Thank you. I got a very, very good request for back and hips, and I'm happy to add some extra back and hips. And then the rest of our theme for today, it sounds pretty easy. It's going to be to feel the flow. But I'm going to challenge you just a little bit with that, to think of something, an element, I'll explain in a moment, that really resonates with you, or an element that you feel that you need to bring into your life and you want to embody. And then we'll try to move in that way. So as you're getting to your yoga space today, thank you for coming to your practice. We are aiming not just to find a sense of grace and ease, but to find a sense of wholeness, connecting our body, our breath, our mind, and our spirit. And it's really nice outside today, but in my space, it's still kind of chilly. So I have my space heater. If you feel cold in your space, that's so hard to move comfortably through. So maybe bring a little heating element near you. And when you're ready, you'll notice that I have 2 yoga mats set up. You don't need that for your own personal practice. That's just so I can twist and turn all the different ways and show you things from different angles. But to begin, we'll take a nice step towards the tops of our mats, and we just find stability here. So maybe not something super narrow, something really wide and cozy. I usually like to turn my toes out a little bit here. We're just gonna find our foundation. Feels good, just kind of moving in our feet like a little duck thing. We're gonna lift the balls of our feet and then press those down. Maybe lift up through the heels of your feet and then press those down. Moving and swaying here, finding a sense of softness. Moving through your toes, open those. I'm kind of lifting up my big toes here and then trying to lift up my pinkies. And while you're doing all of the things with your lower half, just take a wiggle through your fingers. Turn your thumbs to face your body and then back out. Keep wiggling through your fingers here, just finding the soft sense of movement and release from all the forcing, all the doing, all the going. Coming within, landing here in our breath and our bodies. Coming to slow, finding stillness in the center. Arms rise overhead, palms face the sky. Take a class, maybe a little high five, if you will, for arriving today. You deserve that. Soften your shoulders down and stretch a little longer through your knuckles. Let's try to keep our shoulders down from our earlobes and grow taller from our navel to our toes. Take an inhale and then send your breath out as you lean to the right. And now if this bothers your back, you can lean a little forward and to the right, stretching in the low back. Eyes come back towards the center. Move your body on an inhale. Exhale as you lean to the right. If your low back feels tender, reach a little forward and right. Centering ourselves on an inhale. Reach the fingers now down below the tail. If possible, clasp again. Press down low, chasing the floor with your knuckles. Spreading your chest and shoulders wide and smiling at me with your collarbone. Now, possibly move through the inner and outer ankles. Are you able to try to lift up the outer edges of your feet? That's a tough one, I know. Press those down and try to lift your inner arches. And if it's a super challenge, you could slide your feet a little closer and just do one at a time. Lifting and lowering, known as everting and inverting in our ankles and toes here. Getting a little movement. Keep pressing down through the shoulders. Well done. So sweep the arms wide again. Let's tuck our left toes down. They might crack a little bit in the beginning. We're not pushing hard here. I don't want this to hurt the knuckles on your toes. Just taking a little hug from the toe mounds into the ball of our feet. Stand tall. Soften your shoulders. Release your left toes. Curl your right toes under. Give them a little push. Sometimes I like to give them a little pulse. Well done. Relax those right toes. Hold your right wrist. Lengthen up. Take a big stretch, maybe even a wiggle, wiggle. And then lean over to your left. Remember, if your low back is feeling a little tight today, you might want to reach a bit forward. Possibly peeking down towards your left toes. Giving space to the sides of your neck and softening the back of your neck. Wiggle your right fingers and rise. Release the hands. Shake them out. Give a little shrug. A little shake, a little wiggle, your favorite dance move. Arms rise again, big breath. Shoulders uninvited to this party. Hold your left wrist, breathe in to lengthen. Tip on over, taking good care of yourselves today while you're here. So ask your body, what do you need? Would you like me to reach forward, stretch out into the low back? Breathe somewhere that needs a little extra love or some space or some lightness and brightness. Reach back to the sky, big stretch open and let the arms fall. Well done. Take some bent elbows, shoulder circles, loosening up again here, just finding some space in the socket. If that feels good and you want to make them bigger, both arms, sometimes that's tough, so we could certainly do one at a time. Good work. And let's try forward, but we'll go little first. Let's bend our elbows. So these are not elbow circles. We're still moving in the shoulders. Just keeping them small and checking in. Does that feel okay? All right, then let's try to make it bigger, both arms. And maybe you're just doing one at a time. There's no gold medals or trophies for doing anything in any particular fashion. Every time we find a movement pattern, we'll just ask ourselves what feels best in the moment. Great, great job. Spread arms wide again. Big breath in. As you exhale, reaching towards the floor with your heart, your nose, your fingers, landing in a little forward fold. Bending knees as much as you need to bring the floor to you, bring your toes to you, so you can find space in your low back. This sense of sway or movement through our postures might be nice to keep that flow going. And slowly using your body like a ladder, one hand to a shin, other hand a little higher, maybe they found your knees, thighs, higher thighs, hips. Rolling yourself to rise, shoulders back and down. Let's try that again, but we'll rise a couple of different ways so you have your favorite way in mind when we get our vinyasa flowing on. Little flow, maybe a tick-tock here. Nose moving straight over the right toes and straight over the left. You may even like to hold opposite biceps or forearms. And as you tick-tock, stay present with what's happening. Notice the weight moving into each foot. You might be able to get that little lift again of your outer arches and then your inner arches as you sweat. Slowing down and finding center, roll yourself like a caterpillar. Bend your knees, let your arms float down again, and we'll segment the spine, rolling through the low, mid, upper, shoulders back and down, sweeping arms forward this time, bending your knees. And as you bend your knees, sweep the arms back and down in slow motion. Inhale, fingers and eyes rise. Exhale, bend your knees, sweep forward and down. Love this, slow motion sling of tension away from our bodies. Inhale. Next time we float down, we pause. Forward fold again. Halfway lifting your forward fold, yogis, fingers slide up your shins, breathe in and lift top of head from tail as long as you can. Little integration from your navel like it wants to kiss your spine, supporting the low back, and we'll just wiggle back with our sits bones, widening them by pushing down through the balls of our feet and out with our baby toes. From here, hands to thighs, bend knees a little bit again and boost yourself up with a flat back. Inhale, fingertips to the sky. And as you exhale, hands cover heart for just a moment. We used our body like a ladder to rise. We swayed, we rolled like a caterpillar, and then we hinged. Choose your favorite every time we rise. From here on out, big breath in, arms rise. Exhale, release to forward fold. As you inhale, find a halfway lift. We're all gonna do this. We're halfway lifting here together. And as we exhale, we find forward fold again. And we step one foot back, then the other, finding our knees, a little cushion underneath if that's more comfortable for you, in tabletop. Hands round about shoulder width. If your shoulders are feeling tight, instead of having index fingers pointing forward, you could swivel those out just a little bit. Just a little to each side, it's really helpful. And then with our right leg, yogis, we'll step back behind us. Finding a little forward and back movement for the calf, warming up our wrists. Let's take our left fingers and swivel those anywhere, whether you swivel them towards your right hand or towards the left side, or maybe even your left knee. Let's find width in the webbing of our hands as we move. And an integration of our middle knuckles down towards our yoga mat, really long, soft and long fingers. All right, we're gonna take a couple cat-cows. So let's slow down our rocking. Keep your fingers anywhere, whether you wanna move them back forward or not. Exhale into angry cat, curling your spine up towards the sky, pulling tailbone down and looking towards your navel. Drop your navel now, pulling tailbone up and top of head towards the sky. Cow on the in-breath. Exhale, round. Inhale, open. Finding a long spine again. Let your left fingers come back to neutral and your right knee slide in for thunderbolt pose for a moment. Tops of feet flat, sitting on the heels, and we're pulling in with the knees, the inner thighs, your inner ankles. Sitting here for some twisting and opening. Big breath in. You're welcome to sit on your backside if it's too challenging for your ankles here. Release the hands, slide them around to your left thigh. Big breath in, sitting taller through your crown, and out through the left shoulder. Inhale back to center, eyes and arms. Arms float down, super soft here. Slide to your right thigh, little twist to your right. Sit taller through your crown as you breathe in. Eyes swivel more right as you breathe out. Inhale, one more big breath in. As you exhale and reach forward, left arm threads under the right. Give yourself a hug that you very, very much deserve. Let's lift the elbows a little to create space, and you're welcome to stay here. Or we can press the backs of our hands together for a bit more sensation. Let's look straight through the forearms if we're here. Bending a little bit forward, yogis, and then just take a tiny sway side to side, giving your back some space to open, a little self-massage. Big breath in. Full body exhale. Rising again with our elbows and our eyes, allowing the arms to untangle and float down. Sweep them forward at heart height, moving right arm under left for the big hug. Maybe you're walking fingers to grab the edges of your shoulder blades. Just elevate elbows a little bit so we're not so smushed down here. Take a little lift. Press backs of hands together if that feels better. Eye gaze soft and forward. Little chin tuck. Fingers or elbows roll forward a bit. Then we find this soft sway side to side. Using breath to curiously explore the low back, the mid back, and the upper. Take one more big breath in. Rising and shining, eyes forward, arms untangle, open wide, and just pause here for one more moment. Yogis, today we're going to try to move in a flow. So if you love water, you really resonate with water, you'll think about moving like you're in water. If earth and grounding is something you resonate with or you need to bring in, I like to think of earth and think of the water trickling through, like how that causes a flow. If you are more of an air person, you love the breeze or you like to see wind moving leaves, you could move like air. And lastly, if you're more fiery or you need to bring some fire in, this is a bit of a tougher one. In this case, I would envision smoke because as toxic and dangerous as it is, it's really quite beautiful though, yes? Like the way it moves so freely. So whatever resonates with you the most, or what you feel that you need to bring in to make today spectacular, is what we'll try to envision and embody as we move. If you're still here in Thunderbolt, your toes may have gone to sleep, yes? So we're gonna take a moment to tap those out. Come back to tabletop, even if you're on your backside, come with me. You can do one of two things. Tuck your toes under to bring them back to life. Or you can keep your feet flat and tap, 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 tap. All right, let's finish up our work here. Left leg comes straight back to finish our warming. If you're still quite tingly, you're welcome to take your time making your way here. I like to think of those tingles as new energy moving through your body. Start to push forward and back, and you can join me. I invite you to join me, moving your right fingers any new way. Remember, they could face the other hand, the right side of your mat, or your right knee. But then we'll make sure that all of our webbing feels really spacious. Our knuckles are soft, our fingers are long, and our knuckles are attached to the mat. We're trying to push, especially our middle thumb knuckle down. Take as many more movements forward and back as it feels good to awaken your left calf. And then come to stillness in the middle for 2 rounds of cat-cows. Again, yogis, with any hands. We're gonna exhale, round our backs, eyes towards your navel. Even your tailbone is pulling down a little bit here. When you're ready to inhale, shine your heart forward. Widen your collarbones, lift your tail on the top of your head, but try to remain expressionless with your eyebrows and your facial features. Exhale, roll down. Inhale, open up. Finding neutral again, a sense of softness in body. Right fingers come back to the center. Left knee comes back in. We're gonna tuck our toes under, rolling ourselves into a crouch and just finding mobility here. So moving a little bit into our hips. In your crouch, your heels are lifted, and we'll start with our knees forward. So your elbows are kind of in front of your knees here. Lifting your hips high for forward fold, but our heels will stay lifted. Try to breathe into the back body. You can keep your knees as bent as you need to stay comfy in your fold. Inhale back down to that crouch. Make it a little different this time. Open your knees if you can. You can move your hands forward for support. And we're just gonna take a little twist. Let your left knee come forward. Let your right knee come forward. Breathe in. Breathe out. Coming back to our starting position. Hands forward, close your knees under your belly. Lift your hips, your heels are high. Let your heels come closer to the ground as you bend back into your crouch. Open your knees outside and bring your fingers closer to your toes. Just take that little swivel through your low half. Right knee a bit more forward towards pinky. Left knee a bit more forward towards pinky. Now, as we go through our last round, you're welcome to keep your hands down, or you could try with me. We're gonna try. No hands. You might wipe out. You'll catch yourself, don't worry. Come on back, knees forward, heels rise. Try to lift the fingertips as you float to this hovering forward fold. Check out those wobbles in your ankle. Embrace your body stabilizers. Thank you, amazing body. Eyes forward, fingers forward as we sit back and crouch, knees open. And then we'll reach forward, giving ourselves that little twist if we can. Soften shoulders, soften face. Being very gentle with yourself, kind and compassionate. Doing what feels good. And if you wobble and fall over, just laughing it off, coming right back to us. Heels melt down as we find a true forward fold. Give yourself some space. Do that little sway again, side to side. And when you're ready, your very favorite way to rise. Let's move into a little bit of strength, yogis. I love the roll. That's my tried and true. How about you? Which one did you choose? Very nice. Lift and lengthen. Navel rises. Ribs are still pulling down towards our hips, staying long in body, not back bending just yet. Big breath. As you exhale, release the hands. Take a big step with your right leg across and behind your left, like a little curtsy. But today, can we try to rest the top of our foot down? Only for a second. Feel that nice stretch in the top of your ankle? Good. Now flip the toes down so you feel a little better. Sweep the right arm up and over. Sweep the left arm up if you can. Arms are always optional. The lower and closer to your heart they stay, the least intense you'll feel. Release both arms. Uncross right leg. Step your left leg behind. Now, as you do, we're gonna land the top of your foot to start. Try to press down. Let the ankle stretch open on the front outside. Nice, but very challenging, right? Proud of you. Toes tuck under. Now we can sweep. Left arm up and over, lean. Right arm joins overhead if it feels good. Arms fall, left leg uncrosses, sweep to the sky again, extended mountain pose. Exhale, releasing, forward fold. Now, as we flow here, yogis, envision the element that makes the most sense to you, or the one that you're looking to embody today. Right leg sweeps all the way back. Maybe you do a little tick-tock with your ball of foot to get it longer. We'll bend our right knee and slowly rise the upper body, sweeping arms to sky. Now you're welcome to kneel every lunge we do. How? Ask yourself, how can I stretch the biggest in the front of my right hip? Does that mean I tuck my tail and keep my right knee bent? Maybe I feel best if I take it down and really scoot my hip forward. Find what feels good and always do more of that in your practice. Just moving a little bit with our arms today, my friends. Palms turn forward. And as we do, body comes low towards left leg. We're sweeping the palms down. Now pull your fingers up towards your forearms and pull the back of your wrists towards the sky, painting the walls here. Palms forward and down, paint down. Backs of wrists, the knuckles paint up. Let's connect that with our breath. Exhale, see your visual. I'm here moving through warm Caribbean seas, making it as smooth as I can. Last time, exhale. Inhale. Feeling that flow. As you exhale, frame out your left foot and take a spin all the way to the right side. Turning, 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 all 10 toes turn towards the right side. We found that same position over here. Sometimes when we swivel like that, your legs get super long. So you might need to draw one foot a little closer to the other. You feel safe? Okay, let's rise, yogi. Sweep up, check in. Where do you want to be? No one else's practice matters. Finding and feeling good in your left hip flexor. So I love a little bent knee on the back leg and a little tuck. Tailbone under. Really feeling like you're exposing that left hip flexor. Let's move together. Arms rise. Big breath in. As you exhale, 2 stop signs to make. Really paint the wall strongly down. And then flow, float. Find your ease as you rise. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Breath connection. Moving with energy here. Now, maybe you really resonate with one element that we envisioned earlier, but there's another that you feel like you want to bring in. So envision that one as you move. Softening now. As you find your frame around your right foot, take that swivel again to your left side. All 10 toes turning to the left. Finding your tabletop, land right knee. Land left knee next to it. Untuck your toes and let your hips fall back towards your heels. Eyes are still looking forward, yogis. We're just gonna move a little energy here. Stretch your arms out long and then move back forward to table. Won't be aligned this time, that's okay. Let your hips fall a little forward and down. Press back, child's pose. And forward and down as you scoot into your really long table. Let your hips melt here. Trying to roll our shoulder heads back and down in that position. Chest is wide, hips are opening. Eyes can look forward or up if that feels good. Next time you find your way back to child's pose, let's just pause there for a moment. Pulling your fingers, yogis, back towards your skull, like you're making those stop signs towards your wall there. Let your head bow down, getting a nice stretch through the back body. Fingers wide, definite stop signs with the hands here. Big breath. As you release the palms, sweep your hands around by your sides. Let them fall heavy on the floor and turn your eyes to the right. One more wrist stretch here. We have a heavy rest on our left temple. If the floor is too low, find a pillow for under your head. And this time we'll pull our fingers up towards the ceiling, now stretching the other side of our wrists. You can make a fist and pull your knuckles towards the ceiling. Just make a really soft fist here. Relax your hands, move your eyes to the left. Same thing, as soon as you get settled on your right temple, we'll pull our fingertips to the sky. Maybe wrap into a little fist and keep pulling. See if you can press your thumb onto that index or middle knuckle there. All right, well done, yogis. Let's do a couple more spinning flows. Eyes back down, fingers stretch forward. Coming into your tabletop, toes tuck again. We rise through the hips. Wiggle your feet back so you feel like you've got a long open down dog. Take a lift through your left leg with a flex in that foot. Push heel away from the crown of your head. Keeping our hips pretty squared as we start this three-legged dog. Push away. And then point your toes, yogis. Sweep the leg higher if it feels good for you. And then allow your hip to open, looking out under your left armpit. Let's take everything back to our square. Foot flexes, chest towards your right knee. Look at your thumbs and take a big step forward so your left foot lands in between or just behind your thumbs. Wiggling down this time through the right blade edge. Swivel it fully flat. And then we rise into our warrior ones. Arms elevate. Chest is moving towards the left knee. See if you can bend deeply here into your left knee. Take a few pulses, inviting your leg to bend a little bit more deeply and challenging your back foot. Stay really flat. Blade edge down. Energy coming up from inseam all the way through the leg. Landing somewhere that feels really good for you. Arms release down by your sides, creating this big sunshine shape and a big sweep back to the sky. Big breath in to rise. Out to fall. In to rise. Out to fall. In to rise. Well done here, warrior one. Sweep your fingertips back. Bring your heart to me, float over your left thigh again. See if there's a little squeeze that we can do between our inner thighs so we can keep our hips square. Reach up with your right heel. We found our way to lunge. Float down with your fingertips. Tabletop for a moment, yogis. Knees connect. We can be long in our stance again. Fingers a little further forward. I'm gonna try something a little different. Hips back to your heels. Keep your toes tucked this time. Hips back to heels. And as you bring yourself forward, elevate your knees, plank position. Rock back hips to heels. Double pulse here on the way back. Come forward, elevate your knees. You can keep your knees up this time if you'd like. Come back for a double pulse. And then find your plank. Soft and steady, shoulders over wrists. Exhale as you come back. So we call these plank pullbacks. They're great for our knees and our hips. Exhale, inhale. One more round if you'd like. When you're ready, lift your hips to downward facing dog. Find a dog that feels super supportive, yogis. Nothing scary like you're about to slip, so you might need to adjust yourself. Give yourself a little free time. We are so serious as adults, so it's really nice to take time to just play, just to be imaginative, to move our bodies, be curious. When you find your way back to your favorite down dog, let's try the left leg. Big inhale. Oh, I lied, sorry. Right leg, my friends, big inhale. Flex your foot. Push away, super squared in your hips here. Check in with your hands and your knuckles. Finding flat and wide. Point your right toe, lift as much as it feels good in your body. Let your hip open a little to the right side and then peek out under your right armpit. Finding some space to breathe into the right side body. Come on, back to square, flex that right foot. Look forward at your thumbs. And if you get stuck as you step forward, use your right hand to find your way into lunge. Swivel your left foot flat and roll yourself to rise. Body moving towards the right knee the best you can. Trying not to force, just to ease in. A few pulses, easing into more depth, more strength and length in our warrior one. And when you find a place to land that feels nurturing, supportive, and your breath is really flowing, consider that back leg. It's a challenge, yeah? We're gonna press the blade down. Inhale, lifting inner arch and energize your entire inseam. Very beautiful. Just soften the arms. Exhale. Inhale. And if you're feeling sleepy or tired, let your right leg straighten. Exhale, soften. Inhale. Exhale. Finding that visual, connecting with your flow, bringing in what you need or staying in your comfort zone. As we find a frame around the right foot, let's elevate the left heel, making our way back to a low lunge. Step back to downward dog. You can visit the tabletop, make your way there slowly. We'll find 2 rounds of that plank pullback. Inhale, come forward to your plank. As you exhale, yogis, bend your knees and bounce your hips back at least once, if not twice, towards your heels. When you're ready to come forward on the in-breath, soft plank. You can always use your knees, even on your plank pullbacks. Right? Find something that feels so good. You want to do it a little longer. We're adding on, so you know you have your knees if you need them. Plank pullback. Left knee to left elbow. Toes down, plank pullback. Right knee to right elbow, big exhale. Let's find our breath. Inhale as you bounce. Inhale, left knee to left elbow. Exhale, right knee, right elbow. One more each way. Big squeeze. You might like to look at that left elbow for a little extra squeezing action. Maybe as you connect right knee, right elbow, you take a peek. Great job. Bounce, bounce, rise in the hips. A down dog that feels supportive. Let's take a peek forward, yogis. Tiptoe your way to a forward fold that feels great. Bend your knees if you'd like. Surrender in the upper body. Stretching out our wrists after all those dogs. Gorilla pose. And if you don't love this, don't worry, I always have options for you. But if you step on your palms, they'll face up, and you'll take the big toe mound and try to put it on the base of your thumb. And then you get a little bit of a cute wiggle with your toes that massages out the inner wrist folds. From there, dangle down. Some folks like to really pull in their gorilla and feel strong in the shoulder blades. I like to just kind of melt. So if that doesn't work in your body, let's try the backs of our hands somewhere soft, maybe the outer shin area, or up higher on your thighs. No matter what, we get really wrinkly on the inner wrist, nice and open on the outer wrist. If you feel like you want to do it in standing, I love this one too. You take them on your sides. I like to put them up towards my armpits. Great, so wherever you are, we're gonna take one more breath in our big wrist release. If you're in gorilla, as you exhale, slip your palms out. And then meet anyone who is standing. Find your way on up to move into balances. Once you've risen, sweep your arms to the sky. Clasp overhead and soften your shoulders. Let's just take a super soft figure eight here. Wrists, even with that big stretch, are still feeling a little tender, right? We're gonna stay off them for a while. They will recover shortly. All right, open up your arms, relax. Sweep your arms behind you. Chest really wide here, yogis. So we really feel this sense of opening and broadening forward. Thumbs face the sides. If you'd like, you could roll your thumbs to the sky and palms turn out. Slide your left leg back. You can stay connected to the floor, Or if it feels good, lift through your left leg. Find a sense of square in your hips and a little loving squeeze through your inner thighs. And turn your thumbs to face the floor. Sweeping your left arm forward, reach for me, reach overhead. Sweep back and your right arm does the same. Inhale as you reach forward. Exhale as you reach back. Now, can you move them simultaneously? Right arm reaching back as left fingers extend forward. Really, really reach. Spread space between your fingers. Inhale one way. Exhale the other way. One more round, yogis. Inhale. Exhale. Back to airplane pose. Step all the way back with that left foot and swivel open to warrior two. Now, if you're like me and you didn't step far enough, no worries. Crawl with your right foot. It's like a little crawl. Get it? Yeah? Good. Come on out until you feel nice and wide in your warrior two. Beautiful job. Eyes gaze over your right fingers. Taking that little pulse, an invitation deeper into your warrior two. And when you are ready, yogis, find your depth, find your width, find your openness right knee out towards your baby toe. Sweep your arms overhead and take your right arm in the front. Can you cross lover's hands here? Right arm crosses in the front, palms turn, and we clasp. Lover's hands for V-Day coming up. Happy Valentine's Day, my friends. You are my loves on Valentine's Day, my yoga loves. Relax your shoulders. Lean a little to the right side. Swivel your left heel towards the sky. Lean a little more, swiveling your body towards the right side. Take another big breath in. And as you release your hands, reach back and refine airplane pose. Reach back, lift up through your left toes. Remember, you can always lift and then set them right back down for support. Take one more big breath in. And as you exhale, find a hug around your shin. Try to stay low. Give a big squeeze like an angry cat back, and then come to standing with your squeeze. It's always okay if you have to leave your toes on the floor. When you're ready to release, let go. Shake out. Let your right toes curl under again. Now it feels good, doesn't it? Shake out that ankle. That's tough stuff. You'll always notice that your standing leg works really hard and feels when you're done. That's a good thing. You feel right? Shake out if you don't. Let it all go. And let's move again. Sweeping your arms behind you. Big breath in. Broaden your chest. Fluff up in your heart. And then sweep or step your right leg back. You can leave the ground if you'd like. As you float your body forward, try to swivel your hips so that they feel pretty square. Left arm sweeps down and forward. Thumbs face the ground as you sweep. Back. Extend the fingertips. Right arm, same thing. Forward as you breathe in. And back. And we'll try for moving in opposite directions. Left arm forward, right arm up and back. Creating all this sense of length and space through our arms, our chests, our shoulders. One more big breath in. And as you breathe out, both arms reach back, airplane pose. Step your right toes all the way back, yogis. Opening up, big windmill of the arms into warrior two. So I stepped in a little itty bitty one again. If you were like me, you feel like you need more length, crawl with your left toes all the way out. It's hard to do, it's quite sticky. We'll take our arms wide, and then we're looking for more depth. Just invite it by bending and straightening. Nice. Soften up through your toes, your fingers, and the expression on your face. When you feel pretty good there, settle on that last one. Let's create more openness. Even our left knees open towards our baby toes, allowing everything to spread a little wider. As you lift arms overhead on an inhale, exhale, crossing left wrist in front. Turn your palms, lover's hands. That one's a toughie, yeah? When your non-dominant hand is in front, it feels super weird. Lean to your left, extended side angle. And then we're gonna take a big swivel in our bellies. Lift your right heel, swivel navel towards left thigh. Feels like you're in lunge, right? 1, 2, 3, go. On an exhale, lift your right leg. You can always tap your toes back down. Open your arms, reach back. You're back in the airplane pose you started in. Let's hug as we round into standing cat. Hug our right shins all the way in. And then try to come to standing, taking your right shin with you. Big breath in, yogis. Full breath out. Let it all go. Woo, I love an open mouth exhale after balance. Like we made it, thank goodness. Let's let those left toes curl under if you like that. Or you can just shake it, shake it, shake it. Takes a sec. Whew, feel better? A little cooler temperature-wise, a little less bonfire in your thigh. Okay, great. Let's move on again. Big breath in. Soft shoulders really wide in your heart space. Melt down as you exhale. Right leg slides back. We're finding a lunge, yogis, but we're gonna twist this lunge. Move your right hand a little bit more to the right so you can sweep your left arm to your thigh. You're welcome to kneel, right leg down. Sweep your left arm to the sky. I'm gonna show you this from the side. Can you watch me for 1 second, please, my friends? Watch my toes. They're all 10. Did you notice that? All 10 move to the left, okay? Now, if you're on a super thin mat and a super hard floor, it could be a little uncomfortable on your back foot. So if you need to put something under it, let's try. We're gonna turn all 10 toes to the left and let your right hip, oh my friends, let your right hip sag down. This is my fave. Soften your right shoulder, reach your left hand towards your right toes. Woo. Feeling an immense side body opener and outer right hip. When the stretches get big, notice what happens in your face. Did you start to clench? Try to soften. Sweep all the way up, back down. Hands down, and then take all 10 toes back to lunge. Hands are both inside your left foot. You might like to widen your feet. We're gonna land our right knees for sure. And then I'm gonna knee toe out a little wider. So we're finding lizard lunge, yogis. Settling down into that bowl of our hips. Think about it getting really full and heavy, like a bowl is really heavy when it's full, right? Hip bowl settling down towards the floor. Trying one more really beautiful breath in here. We're not here for too long, don't worry. Lizard is a big one. I love this movement in. So we're gonna frame out the foot again, and we do a little heel toe, heel toe, heel toe. Let that foot come in. Beautiful, yogi. Slide the left leg back and land. Pigeon just for a moment. You're welcome to keep right leg straight between your backside there, right in the center of your backside. Or you can bend it. We're all gonna bend it in a second and meet you here. So whatever feels good for the transition. And then when you feel, I know, pigeon's a little bit of a tease. I promise we're gonna come back later and spend a little longer. So let's just move through here. But we're sliding our right leg forward. So let's all bring it bent with friends who are here already. And then we're gonna slide it all the way forward, whether it be so-called easy seat, Sukhasana pose, or whether you'd like to try double pigeon and cross the ankle over the knee or stacked in those joints. And if everything is poking skywards, you can put supports under there so that you feel comfy and supported in your posture. Very nice. Walk your hands forward. Maybe they just rest on your shins, and then scoop each sits bone back. Let's fold. Reach as far as you can with this beautiful energized spine, really long and strong. And then as you exhale, soften down as if you've just started to melt. Envision your element that you're seeking or you're really connected deeply with, and become one with the way it flows and moves. Try one more big breath in here, my friends. Breathing deeply into your low back and your outer right leg, deeply into your hips. And as you exhale, use your hands for support. Let them help you and guide you back to seated. One more posture for this side. Let's lift our right leg and bring the foot flat, and then use our hands most likely to adjust the left leg to like a little upside down V. That way you have a twist ability posture. You're gonna put your right foot in front of the shin or over the thigh, making sure the flesh is clear from backside. Just gonna take a big loving hug on that right knee. Love that. Helping you sit tall, feeling the love spreading into your right thigh. Beautiful job. Right hand swivels behind you. Plant that on the floor to give yourself an extra boost. Take your left arm to the sky, and if you'd like, rehold where you were or drape it on over. Could be a little high five, a soft extension to the floor or your left arch. Or another really loving way to twist here is left hand giving some help to your right shoulder, spinning it open a bit more deeply. Maybe here as we soften in, we close our eyes. Such a relief to let the stimulation go for a minute. Just absorbing the darkness, feeling the heaviness of your lids, just forgetting about colors, textures, brightness, lightness, all the things that we're constantly bombarded with. As you move open, again, eyes forward. Can you look at me for a moment? So this is my fun way of rising, but you can come out anywhere. Keep your twist, even if it's in front of your shin, and you'll frame your right foot. From here, you move weight into the right foot, and then you lift your left leg, swing it around, and step to forward fold, okay? So let's try that together, and if you're like, what? You hate it? Just find any way to exit. Frame out that front foot, shift your weight forward, lift your left leg, and then float it around the corner, down, then you found, forward fold. Great, great job, yogis. Are you back with me? Okay, good. Step or slide your left leg back. Maybe you give a little tick-tock, so it gets really wide. And we can kneel. I like to kneel on this one for sure. If you'd rather keep it lifted, please do. Sliding left hand more to the left, bring right hand to knee, start a big twist. Right arm rises if that feels best. Do you remember how we swiveled our toes and got that big side body opener? All toes this time, turn right. Yes, and then we start to sag through the hips. The shoulder head is still far from earlobe. And ultimately, the right arm may like to reach for your left inner arch. And then you just go, ooh, wee. That's how my left side feels. That was my left side speaking directly to you. Let's unswivel, yogis. Hands inside right foot, heel toe wider on that one. If you'd like to kneel, you might do a little swing around with that back leg to widen. Just gonna hang out here in lizard for a moment or two. Breathe into that bowl of your hips. Just a pigeon teaser. Hands spraying out the right foot. We'll go a little toe, heel, all the way to the left side. And you might like to really tuck heel close. We just do whatever feels nice here. Thinking about rolling left hip forward. If your leg is straight, you see how mine's kicking back off to that diagonal? If it's straight, we really want to try to get it between the cheeks. So it's like right in the middle of your hips there. Or you can bring it to a bend. So different between the two. So it's just like try it and decide what's best for right here, right now. One more breath in. As you exhale, meet all of us who are in modified pigeon already. And then we're just gonna swing the left leg around. It could be in front, easy seat, or stacked for double pigeon. Anything that's high needs you to support it so that we feel that we can settle into something. As you begin folding, maybe hands to shin or on your mat, crawl as far forward as you can with your long spine. Each cheek might like to rise up and sits bones settle a little further back. Soften, round, release. Just take a moment to let go of thoughts, feelings, emotions, something that's no longer serving you. It's okay to let it shed a layer or two, to soften out some of the sharp, prickly edges, or dissolve completely. On your next inhale, use your hands to push you, help you right back to seated. And then as we lift the left foot and set it flat, we're probably going to use our left hand to scoop that right knee in a little bit. Our foot could stay in front of the shin, or you can cross it over your right thigh. Feel nice? Just give yourself a little hug here. I love the hug because you just start the stretch really deeply. Left arm rises and lands on the floor behind you. Fingers are turning out, so your shoulder feels like it could lift up, back, and around. So instead of being funny forward, it's really open and out here. Right arm rises. If you love that hug, stay with it. Otherwise, we might land across the thigh. Anywhere that feels great. And as we settle in here for a few breaths, consider closing your eyes. And letting go of everything that brought you up into this moment today. Softening through your jaw, letting the bottom drop heavy from the top. Let the corners of your eyes be soft. In between your brows, open and wrinkle-free. And your forehead free of all those focus and concentration lines. As you reopen your eyes, we're all going to come back to forward fold because some of us have to head out now. So as you roll forward, you're going to somehow just try to make a big arm, framing out the foot or the foot and the knee. And as you push your weight into your left foot, we'll swing the right leg up, down and around to our forward folds. And yogis, if 155 is your time, it's actually 156, sorry. So if it's your time, you're gonna take a big inhale, soften your knees, roll and rise. When you do get to the top, remember to be kind to yourself. Leave class as softly as you began, some gentleness, ease, some compassion with yourself and everyone you meet with for the rest of today. I hope you feel great. For my friends who are staying, we're gonna step back into downward facing dog. And I promised you some pigeons, but they're gonna be lying. Sometimes I like to say lying figure fours, but it is definitely a reclined pigeon as well. Drop to your knees, swivel around to your backside again, and then super gently, once the flesh is cleared from your tail, take a little roll all the way down. Lying on your back body, knees maybe like towards your chest. Give yourself a little hug, a little roll side to side. Oh, sorry, I just gotta fix my hair real quick. Okay. And as you roll side to side here, we'll let our right leg fall flat to the floor, right foot's flat, and your left ankle cross over top. Let's push the ankle bone just a little over so it feels soft as you cross. And gently guide the left knee away with your left hand. A real nice flex in your right foot to protect your ankle and your knee. We'll reach through the window here and hold either the right shin, or if you want to straighten your leg, the right thigh. And then you've got the ability to move even in the bent knee position. Through the right foot, you get to have a little dance party for that foot. I like to do the evert and the invert, the flex, the point, the circle. I do it all. Little toes hugging into the balls of your feet and opening wide. Sometimes you feel like a conductor up there with your toes. And as you rebend your leg, let's escort the left ankle off the right leg. Give yourself that little rock and roll again. Left foot flat to the floor. Right flexed ankle over the thigh. Right hand gently guiding knee away from your chest. When you feel ready, we'll reach that window. Options are the same. We can hug left thigh or shin. Although the right foot will stay still, the left gets to have a good time. It's really hard to push the toes to the sky and pull the baby toe down, isn't it? Really good lengthening practice for your ankle, though. Take another big breath in wherever you are. And when you're ready to exhale, bend left leg. Help your right ankle off and hug your knees either back over your belly or towards your armpit for a little bit of a wider back as you rock and roll side to side here. Just taking some loving massagey movements for the low back. And if you feel like you're getting heavy on one side, that's probably the side that your body wants to turn to. Let's let that happen. Reach that arm overhead and turn to that side. You've got a little upper arm pillow here. And then your top arm will press down on the floor to roll you around the corner. Finding your tabletop here, using that sense of flow, balancing your energy as you rise. Shift back to our crouch. Lift your hips up into a soft knee forward fold. And find your favorite way to rise one more time today. Remembering to be honest and kind with yourself. Be soft and gentle with yourself. You've done such an amazing job building balance, strength, flexibility, and coordination in your body. Now take that sense of mindfulness, trusting your intuition out to everything you do today. A little bow to your practice in gratitude for the amazing things you just accomplished. I'm bowing deeply to you, yogis, in gratitude. Thank you for practicing with me and allowing me to lead you. Thank you for being here for everyone else and holding us all accountable to stay dedicated. My light honors and cherishes yours. Namaste, my friends.